Good morning. Maybe it's a good time to um, elaborate on a very important issue which I've spoken about in the past, but again, um, things that are important should be repeated at least from time to time. Since 2019, one of I would say almost existential questions that bothered me was like that. I mean, I understood right from the start of my so-called journey that the Israelis hate me and will do everything to enslave me, everything that is within their power. And I also understood that, I mean, their main tool or a course of action is what you call in the intelligence community dying in like painting you in bed, I mean, framing you and painting you in like bad and untruthful ways. But the question is, who are the actual, I mean, clients of this material? Like, who when you paint someone should, I mean, it's only worth it if someone is supposedly, I mean, watching, and accepting these false images. So the answer, of course, is the other intelligence communities. And I understood that, I mean, the clients want the bad things almost as much as like the seller wants to sell the bad things. But the question is, I mean, why do they play the game? I mean, okay, I mean, Israelis, I mean, they put me in prison forever. I mean, they treat me as like unhuman and subhuman, and you see, I can't even sell stuff, I cannot work, I cannot do anything at all. No law is applied to me. I'm not a citizen nor even a human being. So the question is, when you live in such a state of in state of violence, like also in a violent state, but state of violence, and so I mean, why do they play the game? Why does the Israelis, I mean, insist on always try to justify their cruelty in front of the other intelligence communities, especially the strong ones, instead of just do whatever they want, which is of course to enslave me like a farm animal. So after some time, I mean, it was after a year or so, I understood it, and I referenced this many times, and it was a prominent subject of my blogs and videos, that this is my life are not the first episode, and in a very in an international epic. And I had predecessors. And the enslavement of the Titans and the punishments from God for this is something that takes place for around at least 100 years in its current international constellation. And specifically during the 70s, there was a major scandal that, of course, was kept quiet from the public, but part of it was a worldwide punishment, especially of people of the intelligence communities. And the nature of the punishment was, I mean, as I said many times, one of God's favorites, which is fertility. People both in Israel and abroad lost their fertility forever. And some people still remember it. Of course, many of them are still alive. And it didn't end in the 70s. There was also a minor, like I would say, addendum during the 90s. And of course, the Israeli suffered more than anyone from that. But I mean, they are alligators. You cannot teach them. You cannot change them. Any punishment that you inflict upon them only makes them act worse. That's for sure. I mean, they cannot change. But some people around the world still remember and are still, I mean, hurt from it. And I mean, it didn't make them do what they really need, which is to move arms and legs and stop moving mouths and tongues. But they are still, it did create an everlasting impression on them that, I mean, they want to be more reserved with how they torture the Son of God. So from time to time, they want to to accept the dying of the Israelis in order to feel safe that it's okay to torture this person because he's so bad. The Israelis have such nice videos that shows him as whatever. So that's the framework of this of why they play the game, because still people remember the punishment, and they think, okay, this can also occur to our sons and adopted, of course, but still adopted sons and daughters, and they don't want it to happen. Of course, in reality, it will not happen to their sons and daughters, because God is not playing games with you. What happened in the 70s and 90s were not the first blow is series of like identical blows. It was a warning message that was sent to the intelligence communities because they are the people that knew about the issue and the people with the most power. But it's not an interlude. It's a warning message. After the warning message comes the message, and the message is the destruction of humanity. Of course, there is no other way. If they, it's you people, that the humans in there. You set the stage, you make the rules, and you put. You stated very, very clearly, and you repeated your. You reaffirmed your views on the matter that it's either you or either us or them. That it's that according to your understanding of the cosmos, it's someone should be enslaved, either human Homo sapiens or the foreigners, and of course you you do everything you can for the state for the foreigners to be the slaves. That is very clear to us. What is not clear to me personally is how the inevitable conclusion escapes you. If you say and you act accordingly that someone should be enslaved, and you know for certain that the foreigners are more powerful than you, in the billions of billions to one ratio, which is clear, which is it's evident. How come you don't see the conclusion? There is only one conclusion, which is the destruction of humanity, the complete annihilation of mankind. And I do understand why Israelis can't see this inevitable conclusion, because they do not care. They don't care. They rather die a million times, like all of them, than change 1 centimeter. But how come people in Russia, in the United States, in England cannot add 1 to 1 and get a sum of 2? If someone should be enslaved according to your dogma, and we are more powerful than you in a 1,000,000 to 1 proportion, and we don't need you as slaves because we pee robots that are more productive than all of you together, literally. What is the only inevitable conclusion? Is it that difficult to, do I miss something? I don't think I do. So yes, the current set of punishments are not reiteration of the things that happened in the 70s and 90s. The 70s and 90s episode were the warning message, but not the first blow in a series of blows. The warning message. And now comes the message. And the message is very simple. If it's us or them, you or us, then, okay, so please, evacuate Earth, willingly, and save us the trouble. And if you don't want to do it, of course, it's no problem. The cleaning, the cleaners are, the cleaning workers, are here, and they will clean. It will be a very short process, and theirs will be clean. So that's about it. And personally, of course, I do not like being humiliated again and again, and they're poorer and poorer, and with less means of not only detached from my daughters, but also not even be able to actually buy food for myself. And this is, it's only getting worse. But I comfort myself with the knowledge that we are in a course that is now, I mean, everything now is inevitable. I mean, the humans have set the stage in such a way that, I mean, there are no actors can now change any course of action. I mean, everybody is always, it's like a board game that, I mean, once, I mean, players, I mean, have already done their move. I mean, there is nothing that anyone can do besides, I mean, wait for the deterministic process to occur, and it's very simple to understand what's going to happen. Humanity will cease to exist very soon. Very soon. That's inevitable. And I mean, this determinism, I mean, it gives you some comfort because you know that, I mean, there is nothing that you can do or that anyone can do right now besides wait for, I mean, the inevitable results of many prior actions.